Magic and the president of the Grove.
So this is our second one in May.
Number four altogether, I believe.
Yes.
We're getting to the end of May, and that to me means we got to prepare for hurricane season.
Absolutely. I can't believe hurricane season is right around the corner.
Yeah, from June 1st to November 30th. Although last year we saw a named storm before June 1st.
Yes, a tropical storm in May.
Yeah. Yep. So it's never too late, never too early to start preparing. In fact, you can stay prepared all year long.
Yes.
Today I'm going to be crocheting this Tree of Life. This is a pattern by Moral Fiber. That's a play on words like moral fiber. It's Moral with an E. And this pattern is free on her website, but then she incorporates it into other patterns that you can purchase on her Etsy store. A vest and different things, that a bag that you can put that into. But this little tree is free on her website, so check that out. So I'm going to be making that while we're talking.
Oh, fantastic. I see you have your book out and everything.
Yeah. Yeah. Every once in a while on Facebook, on the alternative or goth crochet pages and in those groups, and there is those things. If you're not a crocheter, you might think that's kind of weird, goth crochet, but this is not your granny's crochet. Somebody gets my book. Somebody got it for Mother's Day. She posted it, and it generated almost 3,000 comments, and this time they were all positive. Yes. I was so happy, so I went on there and introduced myself, and because people were asking, where do I get that book? So of course, Llewellyn.com, you can get that book.
Yes.
Let me get I'll move the book out of the way so I can get my hands under the camera. There we go. So this starts with a circle, like so many of our patterns do. Chain 2 and put 12 half double crochets in the second chain from the hook. I'm not a magic circle person, which might seem ironic, but I just make 2 chains and use the first one. So you're going to be a part of the hurricane ritual this year. This will be our 8th annual hurricane protection ritual. What are you going to add to it this year?
I'm going to be adding a nod to the strawberry full moon into the ritual.
Right. Our ritual lands on the full moon this year. Awesome.
And originally we were supposed to have different presentations on different days, but because life happens, things change. Everything got merged into one day, so I had to edit what I had planned, and you were gracious enough to let me add it to the hurricane ritual.
Well, I think that it'll be a great addition to the hurricane ritual, because it's about the love and peace of the strawberry moon, and that's definitely what we want to call for when we're talking about hurricane season.
Yes.
Like, stay peaceful.
Oh, yeah. But also, like, the hurricane, especially the full moon in June, is also known as the hot moon in some locations, because it's the beginning of summer.
Yeah. And not everybody believes in this environmental change thing. Well, of course I do. But but we're seeing some heavy duty storms.
Yeah.
It's getting worse. And we need not only to prepare physically, have what we need in the house to survive for 3 days without electricity. So you're not wandering around out in the storm when there's no street lights or what have you, just to find some water, but also spiritually, emotionally, it will calm us. And that's why we do the ritual every year.
Absolutely. I know getting ready for hurricane season, it's something that I've always done ever since I lived in Florida, and people are like, oh, like, you're from the north, you don't know much. I was like, I lived through Hurricane Hugo as a kid. I remember not having electricity. But luckily, my grandmother was very old school, and she had a wood burning stove.
Oh, nice.
And she did a lot of canning. And she was actually prepped for like the season and stuff with her canned goods, and she had extra. So when people needed a place to cook their hot meals, she opened her house up to her neighbors so they could come and cook food for themselves.
Absolutely. A lot of pagans do their share of camping, so you can just go into camping mode, get that stove out, or fire up the fire pit outside or something like that. Got to go back to basics.
Yes.
So look what I did. I went around the second time and I put the taller stitches on both ends. So I kind of made this oval shape, and then the branches are going to come out of one side and the roots out of the other.
Oh, nice. Fantastic. But no, like getting ready for hurricane season, like I tease Panda, my husband, so much because he's so he is so not crafty and so not self-reliant.
Oh boy.
I was like, you don't know how to do this?
Right?
I was like, I got you. He's like, how did you know, like, how do you know all of this information? I was like, when you grow up in the South and you grow up poor, you have to learn how to fend for yourself.
Yeah, because you could lose electricity for other reasons too.
Yes. Yes.
So you learn to do without or to make do. Although he's proven to be able to start a fire.
I don't think we're ever going to let him live that down. He has now multiple names that we call him.
I call him Char Bear.
I call him Squirtle.
That's how he puts a fire out.
Yes, with a little cat spray bottle.
Not funny you started a fire in your house, but
no.
But it's funny. We laugh about it now because, all we lost was a little bit of carpet.
Yeah. Carpet just got a little bit burned.
We wanted to change that carpet anyway, but not
now.
Today.
So I was able to get like a big area throw rug, and it's covered now. So you can't even see where, he burnt the carpet a little bit.
All right. Poor Panda.
Yes.
We'll leave him. Don't make fun of Panda.
But safety tip, if you have cats and you have an altar and you do incense, make sure that cat scratchers does not move towards your altar. That's cardboard, because that's what caught on fire.
Yeah, that little red char from the end of the incense fell on the cardboard cat scratcher, and guess what happens? Whoosh!
Yes.
It wouldn't be that easy if you're trying to start a fire, but
no,
it's that easy when you don't.
That's actually a great survival technique, is you take like a used can of like tuna or something, or cat food, and you clean it out, and you get some cardboard and you put it in there and you soak it in alcohol, and then you let it dry, and then you put wax in it. Like leftover wax, and then you'll have like a fire that will burn
for quite a while.
Yeah, and you can cook and stuff on it.
You can, in Florida you don't need any more heat, but if you're up north and the storm puts your electricity out, you can put a candle in like a clay pot,
Mm-hmm.
like a terracotta pot, and it will actually radiate quite a bit of heat.
Yes.
You know, you're just sitting right next to it, but enough to warm your hands up or whatever, keep you from freezing.
Yeah. That's what my grandmother was teaching people with the trick with the tuna cans, with the cardboard and stuff. So she was showing people how to do it so they would have stuff at their house, and like if in the middle of the night if they had like a baby or something and they need a warm bottle, they don't have to go out in the middle of the night during like the aftermath of the hurricane.
Right, because that's so dangerous. Trees are down,
Yes.
and electric lines are down, and the traffic lights are not working. It's really scary to have to drive out in that.
Mm-hmm. Especially in South Carolina, especially northern South Carolina, like the trees are huge. One tree can take your whole house.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So prepping your house for hurricane season, you might want to go outside and take a look and see what's hanging over your roof,
Mm-hmm.
and get rid of it now before the wind sends it to your roof.
Yes.
And make sure your gutters are cleaned out so that they don't flood over.
Mm-hmm.
Any kind of lawn furniture or whatever should be secured.
Mm-hmm.
See, now those are the branches up here. These branches.
Nice.
I'm going to do the little bitty roots.
Nice. I know going through like the last few days working at work, the afternoon summer storms have been like on a different level of ferocity.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, ooh.
Wow. Well, I was watching a video this morning about like a deeper dive into using the elements in your magic, and when they got to water, they're like, most times when we do our magic, water magic, we have a cup of water, or and storm water is very powerful. You can collect different types of water, but really when you're talking about water, you're talking about emotions. And it made me think of the hurricane protection ritual. At one point we have a chant that goes, "May your windows hold." May your windows hold, and it would just gets more and more intense, right? So we're using that's a form of alchemical water magic to use that emotion during a ritual. It's something that you can think about when you're writing your rituals and writing your spells, to use emotions, not only just love and peace and all that, but also in the intense emotions, very strong feelings. Anybody that was at our Beltane ritual and heard all of the beautiful poetry that Pea Flower was reciting. Some of it was very beautiful, some of it was very intense, and we were just drowning in that water magic there,
It was very beautiful. Extremely beautiful.
I wish we had gotten a video of that, but our equipment turned off during that ritual. We've had that happen a couple of times before, and we just say, well, that wasn't supposed to be recorded. That was just supposed to be for us.
Yes. But now we're going to have like backups and stuff.
Yeah, we're going to try a little bit harder.
Okay, we're going to do backups of the backups just in case something happens. We still have something to put up.
Yeah. We're going to have to do an excellent job when we host Pagan Pride this year. So on September 16th at Markham Park in I guess that's Weston? Sunrise?
Yeah.
Florida. We're going to have Pagan Pride Day, and all of South Florida is invited. Well, more than that, you can come down from Central Florida if you want to drive. Yes. Everybody's invited.
Yes.
And we're going to have workshops. Martha Capo, the author of Thrifty Witchery, is going to be our headliner. And we're going to have games and music and food, snacking all day. And it's going to be awesome. Members of the EMLC, the Everglades Moon Local Council, our local council, our local chapter of COG will be there to represent, and you can learn more about that. And I'm gonna lead everyone in a plarning exercise where we're all gonna make one bag worth of plarn. It's just 4 loops, nothing serious. But we're all going to make it together and roll it into one ball where I'm going to finish a plarn mat so everybody can see what we donate to the homeless shelter here in Broward County.
Yes. Especially now, they need it now with all this rain that's been coming down.
Yeah, those plarn mats make a nice moisture barrier between their blankets and the ground. So if the blanket gets wet, then it's impossible to dry it in the one day it takes. Then it gets wet again, and they end up with respiratory diseases, from the bacteria in the blanket. Look at that! I got roots and I got limbs. You could just leave it like that if you wanted a little cactus-looking thing. But I'm going to go around again and put all these little twiddles on there. The little limbs.
Yes. But definitely our homeless population has increased, especially since the housing issue. And the housing down here has skyrocketed through the roof.
Yeah. And these are people through no fault of their own, just find themselves. So many people live paycheck to paycheck. You just have to miss a couple of paychecks, and you're going to get into a lot of trouble.
Yes.
And so maybe they just need a little helping hand for a while or what have you. Yeah.
And some of them are disabled.
Can't work.
Can't get the housing vouchers because there is a huge waiting list.
Right. What are you going to do while you're waiting? You got to eat, you got to sleep. And the price, even if you had a place to rent,
yes,
you might not be able to afford it.
Because I remember I rented before the pandemic. It was reasonable. After the pandemic, the same apartment was so much more. Like when the beginning of the pandemic, before the pandemic, it was like $650.
Wow.
And this was for like a studio. Now it's like twice that amount, like double that amount. I was like, that's not worth it.
No. That's why a lot of people are sharing, and you're finding a lot of the family dynamics are changing, because multiple couples and multiple groups of people, you have to have roommates into your adult years. Where's the American dream? It doesn't exist anymore.
No. Like me and Panda were very lucky because we actually own our condo.
Yes. Very much so. But then you're at the mercy of them.
The HOA.
This
is why it's just like I don't anger the HOA. I stay to myself.
That's right. Don't rock the boat.
Follow the rules and just like be peaceful and quiet.
We're very lucky here, knock on wood. We've lived here for 22 years, and we've paid $35 a month. for our HOA. We don't get anything from it really. There's a pool and a rec center, but that we've never been to. but they leave us alone, you know. But they will tell you to take garbage away or whatever, but nothing like that.
Yeah. Like our HOA fee is like $3.25 a month, but that also includes water.
Okay. Ours doesn't include anything.
And we have security.
That's nice too, living inside an area where you hopefully anybody walking around at night is somebody that lives there.
The security is great because like they just go through and they do the laps, the rounds. And like there's been times I've had people park in my parking spot, and I call and he's like, "Oh, which car is it?" I was like, "It's the Star Wars car." He's like, "Oh, it's you." He's like, "Let me guess, someone parked because of the parking issue." I was like, "Yeah, they're in my spot," and typically then I have to park into the guest parking that's way farther away.
That's what they didn't want to do.
Yeah. And basically, because Panda never drove, so...
Oh, they figured
it was just a free spot for them to take, and when the HOA actually enforced the parking policy, they got upset. They're like, "Oh, you never used it before." I was like, because he never had a car before.
Right? Look at that.
Nice.
Where you can see it. Isn't that pretty?
That's very pretty.
The long stitches crisscross. It's really nice little pattern.
And we also do have a little guest over here meowing his head off.
Logan.
Hello, Logan.
Logan, you gonna come on camera or what? You shy?
Or do you want me to open the door?
Logan, yeah, it probably does.
Yeah.
Logan is a pagan cat, definitely. We have the meetings here every Friday night for the Grove, and he'll sit on someone's lap. Oh, look, here comes Jasmine, too. Yes. Then usually we go outside for some kind of ritual or drumming or something. So he'll want to go out halfway through, and then he'll sit on the fire pit and wait for us. If we don't come out, he'll start meowing. It's like, where are you guys?
Yeah. And she's going to go flop.
She's going to flop in front of the door. Jasmine is not as sociable.
No.
When there's a lot of people here, you're not going to see her. But her favorite thing is to sit in front of that sliding glass door and chatter at the birds.
Yes.
I have to get a video of what the mockingbirds do to poor Logan. He walked down to the mailbox with me this morning, and this mockingbird dive bombed him like just continuously, and he just walks down the driveway and walks back, and he's looking at me like, "Do you see this, Mommy? Do you see this bird?" I'm like, "Go away, bird, leave him alone." He's not bothering you.
No.
Although who knows, Logan might have eaten one of his eggs once upon a time. So
yes, Logan's the one that brings in the frogs and lizards to the house.
Yes, he is a hunter kitty.
Yes.
We won't starve with him during the...
No.
He'll be able to make sure we get fed.
It's so funny, every time like I come home from coming over here Friday nights, Guyer's all over me. He's like, "Where's my boyfriend Logan?" Like this morning, like she knows it's Thursday morning. I get up, I'm having my breakfast, I'm having my coffee, and she becomes my coffee goblin.
Oh, cat likes coffee.
And then she's like, "I know you're leaving today because you got that bag out. You're going to go see my boyfriend Logan, and then I'm going to smell him all over you."
Too funny.
It is. It's very funny.
These cats.
And he's just standing there staring at us. He's like, "I don't know what you're doing."
I think his interest in paganism came from the day that we did the wolf ritual, and we had ham as the cakes and ale. He got up on the offering table and he grabbed himself a piece, and then everybody was like, "No, Logan, no!" And he's like, "What? There's just ham sitting here. What do you mean?"
Ham, meatloaf. But it was so funny because we had me and Panda had our 1 year anniversary / my birthday party here Sunday, and I brought in the hamburgers and hot dogs, and he's like, "Oh, you have meat." And then Panda tried to crash the cake.
The chocolate covered strawberries were chilling in the freezer, and Panda goes, "I'll put the hamburgers away." No!
Like, he tries so hard to be helpful, and then sometimes I look at him, no. Like, what? Like, I came off of my overnights.
No, yeah.
When I came off of my overnights, like, I have like a couple bags, but like I have like my one bag that had like my dry food ingredients in, and then I had my other bag that had my spiritual stuff and, you know, like my stuff that I worked on there when I was not with Panda. And he tried to combine the two. I was like, "Don't do that. Don't do that, because I don't need something to spill and contaminate the food."
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Coffee time. All right, let me show you what I did here. This is my little variation. I just go around with a single crochet stitch, right? And that makes like a nice little oval if you're going to use this for a applique for a bag or for a hat. I put some on my hats or what have you. But there's more to the pattern that the way she does it. So now, look, I'm going to rip it out. This just destroys people sometimes. Whee! They're like, "No, it's so much work." Oh, but it's very freeing. All right. So if you want a bigger tree, then you go around the third time with V stitches in each of the spaces that I put 3 single crochets the last time. It just makes for a bigger tree.
And Jasmine's just crawling on the floor as she flopped.
Now we're going to have to get another camera. We're going to have a kitty cam.
I know. Well, I might have to like really work with my tablet, get it set, and just do the kitty cam with those two.
Of course, then you won't be able to find them if we got the kitty cam set up.
Oh no, we can trick the Logan over here with ham.
That's right, ham.
Ham and all type of good stuff. It's like you're saying ham and you don't have any.
Shame on you.
That's her with the drum.
They scratch. They play those drums all the time. My husband makes drums, and so I got drums all over the house. And the cats love to sleep on them, and their tail will twitch, and I'll hear this bum 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 bum. I'm like, who's playing the drum? It's the cat.
It's the cat. That's like torquing. Like, we had to put the drum that we got for the wedding up on the magical cabinet because he kept trying to like just sleep inside of it. Inside of it. He was just like sleeping, and then Hero and Guy was trying to fight. It's like, no, there's no fighting in this drum. We don't need boom 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 boom.
There. And that's the leafier version of the. And now you can go around. You can just go around with a single crochet and a backward single crochet, or you can go around with a half double. And then what is done on the website is then they'll go bigger, make it into a square, use it as a bag side or the back of a vest, or poncho, or whatever you want to do with it. I like sewing them on things.
Yes.
I'm going to switch to the darker brown now. But I don't have a scissors.
You're going to have to go get scissors.
I'll be right back.
You'll be right back.
You want to go outside, Larry?
Here they go, going outside.
Going outside. I don't know how to open the door.
The door has always been a problem for many people.
Usually not a problem. It was half open, half not. Do you want to go outside, Logan, or you just want to sit there? No?
He's like, no, I'm comfortable. I'm comfortable. Thank you, Mommy. Now I shall follow you.
You're welcome. I'm not going in the kitchen.
He's like, okay, I'm back.
This was right.
He's back to his perch.
You hear that drum?
Yes.
That was. All right. I always forget something. Boop.
Yes.
So there's a lot happening in June. I'm going to Summer Magic Fest up in Orlando. I'm getting lots and lots of stuff ready.
You'll be in Summer Magic Fest, and I will be in the Great Smoky Mountains for my vacation.
Oh, that's lovely.
So in June, I think we're only going to be able to film one coffee talk because we're going to be gone the first half. So
yeah. Aw, you'll miss us, I know.
Yes. But then we have a lot to catch up on because we have a ritual coming up in June too.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, when we're both back.
Yes.
Then it'll be time for Litha. And Litha is the midsummer celebration. It's usually done like in a fairy style, something light and airy. Summertime, And what we have written for the Grove to do is spinning things, because we were talking about fans. We're going to need a lot of fans because it's going to be hot outside. So things that spin. So we've got pinwheels, we've got hula hoops, we've got
there's a lot of different things.
So it should be fun, and that'll be on our YouTube channel and live on Zoom and on the YouTube channel. Fun.
But no, it's just it's crazy how fast this year is going. I was like, oh, our first year anniversary was this past Sunday. I was like, I can't believe it's been a year.
Yeah, you and Panda been married a year.
Yes. And his gift that he gave me for the anniversary was so perfect. Something you created.
Yes. Panda asked me, lots of times he asks me what he should give. So he asked me what do you normally give for a first anniversary? And I said, well, traditionally you give paper, but the modern version is clocks. So I was teasing him, and I said, why don't you make her a clock out of a paper plate, like we used to do in kindergarten?
Yes.
And I guess he never got that out of his mind. So I was just kidding, but
Panda's mind works in different ways. You should know this by now.
I want a clock. Can you crochet her a clock? And I'm like, yes, I can crochet her a clock. And then you showed me what you had got him.
Yes, I actually have one, the dog tags on.
There you go, dog tags. His Beauty. And then his says, her beast. So I thought, Beauty and the Beast.
Yes.
Clock. Now I know.
Yes.
I'm going to crochet Cogsworth.
Yes. I have a Cogsworth clock. And it's so cute and adorable.
Yep. I got that. You can see it on my Instagram, on Fiber Magic on the Instagram if you want to look it up. And it's an actual working clock.
It is.
Keeps good time, and those batteries last quite a while.
Oh yes.
You'll have to bring it to me every year to change the battery because I got to take his face off.
Yes. You have to massacre it. You have to peel it off.
But I know where the knot is, so
yes.
I can undo him. Yes. But that's a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
Meow.
No.
Meow.
I guess he really wants to be a part of this one. Like, you haven't came over. You're still on your perch.
Yeah, come over here.
Come, Logan.
Oh, so something else about the hurricane season that I always tell people, there's such a demand for bottled water during the hurricane season, and people will hurt each other for gallons of water after the fact. But if you now or throughout the year, whenever you get iced tea or juice or something, save the jug, then and get a filter for your tap, you can harvest your own water.
Yes.
And not be at the mercy of the stores when it comes to it. I'm not going to leave my house until the streetlights come back on.
Yeah. And this is why, like, I still have, like, canned beans and canned food just in case, because it's just like, for hurricane time, it's better to do it that way. And also with the jugs of water, if you do it at home, you can actually freeze them and actually help keep your food preserved too.
Right, because you might not lose water, but you might lose electricity. It depends on whether or not you have a well or city water. You lose electricity, and then you've got all that food in your refrigerator. Those big chunks of ice, your freezer will be like a cooler.
Yeah.
Those are good tips. If you want to watch our hurricane protection ritual, it's going to be live on Zoom on June 2nd at 7:30, and it's also going to be on the YouTube channel afterwards. You can go to Events at the Grove on Facebook and get the link to the Zoom.
I know this Friday is Plant Magic, am I correct?
Yes.
Jonathan's first class finally.
Yes. Yay. Yeah, it's going to be awesome.
It will be.
We're into plants and plant magic. This is the book that I was talking about last week that I couldn't remember the name. Weedy Wisdom. Weedy Wisdom by Rebecca Randall Gilbert. And it is great. I thinking about surviving, not long term as well as short term during a hurricane season. Long term survival, instead of stockpiling canned foods and this and that and stuff that you're just going to have to defend later on, somebody going to try to take it away from you. What you should be stockpiling now is skills. And one of those skills is recognizing edible plants growing in the wild and cultivating things like mushrooms that grow fast. Because you can't start your victory garden after you're already hungry. It's going to take a while. But while your tomatoes are growing, mushrooms will happen overnight.
Yes.
And the weeds are already there.
Yes.
Purslane, dollarweed, dandelion. And these are very nutritious things. You could live on that. Weeds and mushrooms.
Also know how to fish. How to hunt responsibly. and know how to use every part of the animal, not to waste anything. That's something my grandmother taught me from our native culture, that you waste nothing.
Right.
You only take what you need, and you give back to the land.
Yes, because it's got to be there the next time you need it.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Because I remember her doing a garden every single year, and then she would can everything. And I know how to can with a pressure cooker and everything. I was like, that's a skill that she taught me when I was a little girl.
That's great. Yeah, we can put up some good foods. Pickling, using brine and stuff to preserve the foods.
Kimchi is another good one that doesn't need much refrigeration if you do it the traditional way.
Amy Blackthorne is a foodie witch that has a great book called Potions and Cocktails. And she talks about a shrub. Do you know what a shrub is? A vinegar? Yeah. Okay. I thought you know what a shrub is. So you've got all this fruit, because like when the berries ripen, they all ripen. So what are you going to do with it, right? So that's where the canning comes in. And you take like 2 cups of fruit, 2 cups of vinegar, and a cup of sugar, and you put them in a big mason jar, and you just let it meld and and then you drink it, and the fruit acids and the sugar makes the vinegar very refreshing, delicious. And you can do it with ginger. You can make yourself a ginger ale, and it is very good for you because it's, if you use the motherwort of the vinegar, then it's got probiotics.
Yes.
Otherwise, it's like a very low alkaline. It's wonderful. It's something that we should start doing now, not just in survivalist mode. My husband makes mead, which is similar. He takes the honey and the fruit and water, and then he ends up with an alcoholic beverage. But this vinegar wouldn't be an alcoholic beverage, although she did say it's nice with some gin in it.
Yes. I see you're all finished.
Yeah. See, so now you've got that. You got your tree of life. Let me put it down here so you can see it with the. Got a nice tree of life. You can see it with all the leaves. And like if you wanted to put some red beads, it would look like an apple tree, wouldn't it? And then you could just get as fancy as you want to with all this around here. So there you go. That's the tree of life. And go to Morale, Morale Fiber. Her website will have this written out with picture by picture. And then if you love it, you can go to her Etsy page and buy one of her patterns that uses it in something that you'd like to make for yourself.
Nice. Awesome. So I think that's it for today.
Yep, we've talked about hurricane season. Everybody get ready.
Yes.
Join us for the hurricane ritual.
Yep.
That's the most important thing this week. Join us Friday for the plants, for the native plants, especially if you're in the South Florida, because that will be interesting. And pick up this book called Weedy Wisdom. That's a Llewellyn publication.
Yes.
For the curious forager. Absolutely.
All right, everyone. You guys have a great day. And if you want to follow us, I'm Spiritual Moon on YouTube, Abilina's Grove on Instagram, Clapper, and here on YouTube as well. And
Fiber Magic everywhere.
Everywhere.
Fibermagic.com will get you everywhere.
Yes. All right, everyone. Have a good one.
Bye-bye.
Bye.